Good morning, everybody. This is Steve from the Worley Bugger. It is about 10-11 days before Christmas 2023, and I am here on the banks of the Yakima River at the gauging station in Ellensburg at the upper bridge. As you can see, quite an overcast morning here. The river is flowing right along, so actually about twice the volume right now compared to what it was this fall. CFS today is right around 1,000 cubic feet right here. And that's about the same in the canyon, so good winter flow structure. Keep in mind 1,800 cubic feet. The river is easily wadable in most places. A little noisy right there. So that's kind of the magic number for those that want to come out and do some winter fishing and wade around in the river. This time of year, key elements is, dress warm, stay away from all your cotton garments. Cotton's a breathable fabric, but once it gets wet, you'll freeze to death in it. Wear your wool, your polypropylene. And all the really good outdoor companies all make that stuff. We live here in the Northwest, we're skiers, snowmobilers. We're outside people, so it's kind of the key is just dress warm, and you'll be fine for the conditions. This time of year too, if you're going to be wading, studded boot, and some kind of staff is recommended. The river is very slippery. I haven't waded the river, since it's come back into shape. We've had moisture. We've had moisture all week, big rainfalls, and the river continues to drop. So what that tells us is, the low-lying snow around the foothills of the valleys, have dissipated. I mean, that's all dissolved, gone into the ground or into the river, because the river keeps dropping. If that wasn't the case, we'd see escalations in flow, and we'd see the river, coming up, where the river's been flatlined for a number of days and has continued to recede. So gonna stay in good shape for those of you that want to come out and fish. And people always, have been calling the shop, and we appreciate you, of course, asking like, what's going on, what's the hot fly. Well, there's not really a hot fly. I mean, there's certain flies that work really well at certain times, but I always tell people there's about 10 billion fly patterns, and we carry like 6,000 at the fly shop. And we just expanded that inventory for 2024 and added several new bends of flies, so exciting. I got some other things happening too that we can talk about after the new year, but it's really more about fishing the right water, and getting the right correct presentation over fish, especially this time of year. So it's a good time of the year to catch big fish and really work on your skills, because the fish are less picky. They're not really keyed in on insect hatches, right? Like, our form of fishing is pretty scientific, like knowing bugs and knowing bait fish, and what the fish, what their diet consists of on a daily basis, on a monthly basis. So when you have that figured out, it makes things a lot easier. But this time of year, about the only insects you're going to find really hatching are some small winter stones, which I've never really ever seen the trout key in on those. subaquatically, I'm sure they eat lots of them underneath the water. I've never seen them get on the surface and eat them off the surface. Midges, of course, you know, in certain places throughout the river, on those big kind of long, slow runs, you know, you'll find trout rising and eating midges on occasions. But those are about the only really aquatic hatches that are going to be happening this time of year. So there are things that are going on in the river, you know, and we know that, we assume that as fly fishermen, and we, you know, years of experience, we get to know, like, this time of year whitefish are cooling up and spawning, you know, so trout are eating eggs from them. You know, there's lots of bait fish moving around in the river, so they're eating those. So those are kind of good foundational places to start, and then you can move from there. And like we've talked about in the last couple of weeks, you know, with our salmon base, we have lots of leeches and lots of worms in the river as well. So that gives you kind of a foundation to start with. And then, of course, you know, squall fishing is like right around the corner. I mean, I don't have to tell you, like 60 days, you know, maybe a little bit longer, but approximately. I mean, the earliest I've ever seen squall is like the 5th of February. It's the 14th of December. So stoneflies will begin their migration, start moving, you know, so that'll be another kind of key element that you know, you can use. And the stonefly nymph's always a good searching pattern on the Yakima to use. So, but yeah, if you're looking for solitude and beauty, I mean, look how beautiful it is out here. Not a lot of people, you know, fishing this time of year. So you can come out. It's a great place to get peace of mind, really get your thoughts and emotions all in check. Does wonders for me. Magical place for sure. So I will announce Nate has been working on getting this fly tying class going. We have lots of interest in folks wanting to begin and start into that portion of the sport, start creating your own flies. So he's going to start a beginning class in January. There's 6 spots available for that. You can look on the website for more detailed information, or give us a call. It's a great Christmas gift for somebody that's looking you know, to expand their knowledge of the sport of fly fishing, begin tying your own flies, and it just goes from there. To thank everybody too that called and got on the list for the boat launch improvements, access improvements. So we got a nice list put together, and I'll be forwarding that to the commissioner early next week, and we'll begin meeting again in the Public Lands Advisory Council in January, and I'll have some information for you about that. And just kind of a quick reminder too, you know, if you're kind of in desperate need of getting something for the fly fisherman in your life, a guided trip is a great present. Give them a fly fishing adventure with the Worley Bugger. Just give us a call. Lots of folks taking advantage of it. Unfortunately, like I announced a couple weeks ago, the rate of inflation, we have to raise our prices. And, those prices will take effect on January 1st. All of our trips are going to go up in price, but if you purchase a trip before that, you'll get this year's price. Makes a great Christmas gift for somebody. Gives them kind of that carrot dangling out there in front of them. Something to look forward to in the new year. So Again, I just want to thank everybody. Aaron, I, and Nate, we appreciate everybody's support. Appreciate your business, and we look forward to seeing everybody in the new season. So I'm sure we'll have another report for you next week, just before Christmas, and then we're going to take a few days off. But everybody enjoy the upcoming weekend, and hopefully we'll see you on the river soon.